All right, so we're working on the TABE Success book, and we're on page 91. And today's lesson, we're going to talk about how to find the percent of a number. So in the text, they show you two different ways you can do it. They show you how to do it with a fraction, and they show you how to do it with a decimal. And today I'm going to show you how to do it with a decimal. That's my preferred method because I feel that it's easier and it's faster. And being fundamentally lazy, I'm going to do anything I can the quick and easy way. So let's do it the decimal way. I don't want to discourage you working with fractions, but in this case, let's use the decimals because it's easier to work with. So step one, let's say you're given what's 10% of 300. You want to get your percent converted to a decimal because what's going to happen is we're going to multiply that decimal times the number. And it's an easy process. What you do is you think to yourself, okay, I start with 10%. And that's really the same as 10.0%. After you've got that set, what you do is you move that decimal point 2 to the left. So 10% becomes 0.10. And we talked about this before where decimals and percents and fractions are just different ways to say the same thing. And you know that if you have this of $1, that's 10% of $1. Okay? So 10%, 0.10. A couple more examples. 99%, so we'd set it up. Uno, dos, to the left, 0.99. 50%, uno, dos, 0.50. 45%, 1, 2. 23%, I think you kind of get the rhythm here. 35%, 1, 2. As Beyonce once famously said, to the left, to the left, to the left. Now, there is one time, well, there's a couple times, we'll look at those, where it's a little different. Now, let's talk about 9%. That would be 9.0%, and you have to hold to the rule. The rule is 2 to the left. So it's 1, 2. You have to add a 0. So 9% becomes 0.09. 8% becomes 0.08. 7% becomes 0.07. It's always 2 to the left, and if you have to add zeros, add the zeros. Here's an interesting example. 0.5%. That's a half a percent. Well, the rule still holds. It's 2 to the left, so it's 1, 2, so it becomes 0.005. Now, once you've converted your percent to a decimal, you take it and you multiply it times the number. So here's our problem. What is 10% of 300? I convert my guy to 0.10 and I set it up and I multiply. And so 0 times anything is 0. There's my placeholder 0. 1, 2. Multiplying there. And I bring it down. And I'm going over 1, 2 because there's 2 decimal points in my multiplication. So what is 10% of 300? It's 30. That's my answer. One more example, what's 20% of 80? Again, we're going to set that to 0.20. We're going to multiply. Placeholder 0. 1, 2. 1, 2. And my final answer, 16. What's 20% of 80? 20% of 80 is 16. So that's what you do. Convert your percents to a decimal, multiply times the number that you started with, and you're in business. So your task, you've got page 91, pages 1 through 14. Have fun.